Utilities are small programs that are used recurrently in data science. So generally what is there is a utility layer is created where different types of utilities are stored in one place. So this avoids, using old copies, using wrong copies, using updated copies. So everything is under version control, and it is ensured that everyone is on the same page regarding which version is the latest and which version has to be used. Okay, so there are three main types of utilities as you can see in the diagram. The very first one is the data processing utilities. The second one is maintenance utilities, and the third one is processing utilities. Now processing utilities are further divided into scheduling utilities and monitoring utilities. Scheduling utilities are in turn divided into backlog utilities, to-do utilities, doing utilities, and done utilities. If you talk of maintenance utilities, these are the following utilities which are found under maintenance utilities. Data processing utilities की अगर बात करें तो data processing utilities is further divided into retrieve, assess, data vault utilities, transform utilities, data science utilities, organize, and report utilities. Assess, data vault, transform, and data science utilities are further divided into their own subtypes. So this is the gist of utility layer. So in case the question comes on discuss various utilities in data science or various utilities in utility layer, this is the answer that is expected from you. Now let us go and deal with each of these utilities very quickly, because the question can equally come on write a short note on data processing utilities, or write a short note on maintenance utilities, or write a short note on processing utilities as well. So as I said, processing utilities are further divided into scheduling and monitoring utilities. So जो standard system processing होता है उस वक्त जो utilities आपको help करेंगे वो होंगे processing utilities. अभी scheduling utilities में what all utilities did we see? Backlog utilities. Backlog utilities means the processing requests which are ready to be processed in future processing cycles. अभी तक उनके साथ उन पे कोई भी प्रोसेसिंग किया गया नहीं है बट वो रेडी टू गो है. सो बैकलॉग यूटिलिटीज. To-do utilities are a subset of backlog utilities, and they are the utilities that you are going to process in the next processing cycle. So यहाँ पे you will have to use different labels where you are showing the priority of the process, you are showing any dependencies like parent-child dependency if it is there, और इस प्रोसेस के बाद तुरंत कौन सा प्रोसेस रन करना चाहिए. अगर ऐसा कोई डिपेंडेंसी है तो ये सारा डिपेंडेंसी टू डिपिक्ट दैट यू शुड यूज क्लासिफिकेशन लेबल्स. सो अगेन टू डू यूटिलिटीज आर अ सबसेट ऑफ बैकलॉग यूटिलिटीज दैट यू विल प्रोसेस ड्यूरिंग द नेक्स्ट प्रोसेसिंग साइकिल. डूइंग यूटिलिटीज आर द यूटिलिटीज दैट यू आर एग्जीक्यूटिंग इन द करंट प्रोसेसिंग साइकिल. And done utilities are the utilities which you have already executed, their execution is done. Now monitoring utilities. Monitoring utilities will ensure that the complete system is working as expected. So what was your plan and what is your actual execution? ये continuously compare करने का काम monitoring utilities करता है. So monitoring utilities will raise an alarm in case something goes wrong. Now that was all about processing utilities and their subtypes. Now we come to maintenance utilities and their subtypes. So maintenance utilities में इतने सारे utilities आ जाते हैं. Now the explanation for these utilities is very simple. So once you remember their name, the further part is very basic. बैकअप एंड रिस्टोर यूटिलिटीज़ क्या करेंगे? आपको डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ बैकअप, एंड जब भी ऐसा होगा कि आपका सिस्टम ड्रॉप हो गया, योर सिस्टम इज़ डाउन एंड यू विश टू रिस्टोर इट, सो रिस्टोरेशन के लिए जो सारे प्रोसीजर्स लगते हैं वो सारे इन यूटिलिटीज़ में रहेंगे. नाउ चेक डेटा इंटीग्रिटी यूटिलिटीज़, ये क्या करेंगे? दे विल कंटिन्यूसली चेक द इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ योर डेटाबेसेस, योर इंडेक्सेस, to ensure that everything is in place and everything is correct so that your entire data science ecosystem can function properly. Now, history cleanup utilities and maintenance cleanup utilities are responsible for archiving and removing the entries in history tables in the maintenance plans and database backup files as and when required, respectively. Notify operator utilities. The main task of this utility is to notify the appropriate person regarding the status of the system. Rebuild data structure utilities. Now, this will work with database tables and views to ensure that all the development is as was designed. Now, we often use indexing for optimization of the queries because we are working with lots and lots of data which is changing quite a few times. So it is very important that you continuously keep on reorganizing or updating your indexes. So this utility will take care of that. Another thing is you continuously need to optimize the solution. You need an optimum solution in place because again the volume is very high. So shrink and move data structure utilities are basically to reduce the footprint size of your data, base data and associated artifacts. Okay. Now, solution statistics utilities, they will update information about the data science artifacts to ensure that your data structures are recorded properly. Now, if you carefully observe your data processing utilities, you will find that your raptor comes over here. So, retrieve है, assess है, transform है. प्रोसेस के लिए क्या है? प्रोसेस के लिए उन्होंने दूसरा नाम दिया है डेटा वर्ल्ड यूटिलिटीज, बट दैट इज नथिंग बट प्रोसेस. एंड फिर ऑर्गेनाइज भी है, रिपोर्ट भी है, एडिशनल इज डेटा साइंस यूटिलिटीज. सो दिस पार्ट इवन दो इट सीम्स वेरी बिग, इट इज क्वाइट सिंपल. रिट्राइव यूटिलिटीज में क्या रहेगा? जो भी आपको HORUS के साथ काम करने के लिए चाहिए यूटिलिटीज़ या ऐसे यूटिलिटीज़ चाहिए जो एक फॉर्मेट को दूसरे फॉर्मेट में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं, वो सारी यूटिलिटीज़ यहाँ पे आ जाते हैं. फिर असेस में क्या होता है? फिक्सर यूटिलिटीज़ है, एडर यूटिलिटीज़ है एंड प्रोसेस यूटिलिटीज़ है. फिक्सर मतलब क्या? लीडिंग लैगिंग स्पेसेस रिमूव करो, नॉन प्रिंटेबल कैरेक्टर्स रिमूव करो, डेट को स्पेसिफिक फॉर्मेट में लेकर आओ. एडर में कुछ एग्जिस्टिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको ऐड करना है, कोई पर्टिकुलर कॉलम ऐड करना है टू एनहांस योर डेटा, सो दैट कम्स इन योर एडर यूटिलिटीज़. Process utilities, it is all basic about your building your data vault, hubs, links, satellites. इसका in detail next इसमें है कि hub utilities है, satellite utilities है and link utilities है. Obviously, each utility will try and maintain the integrity of that component of the data vault. Then transform utilities किसके साथ काम करेंगे? They will work with your data warehouse. So data warehouse के structure में क्या होता है? Dimensions and facts. So you will have dimension utilities and you will have fact utilities. Again to maintain the integrity of the dimensions and fact tables. Now coming to data science utilities, we have already studied all these three concepts in theory earlier. So data binning, bucketing के लिए utility है. So that you can group number of large observations together, so you can have very small number of bins that you will process. Averaging the data, taking mean of the data, MEAN, mean of the data, and then outlier detection, because outlier can disturb your entire it can disturb your entire statistics, so it is better to separate the outliers from rest of the data. उसके बाद ऑर्गेनाइज यूटिलिटीज़ फॉर डेवलपिंग डेटा मार्ट्स, and then reporting utilities for taking the data from the data mart and then choosing appropriate visualization technique to ensure that you're able to have a very good visualization and you're actually able to generate some actionable knowledge from that. So a very small chapter, a very basic chapter, but important at the same time.